I make a motion that they be approved.
Second.
Second, for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Next item under new business is preliminary site plan approval, South Unicoi County Volunteer Fire Department, 1295 Carolina Avenue, tax map 0311, Group E, partial 005.
So I still have not got back the revisions on that one yet. I did email it after the last meeting to them, but they just like they haven't got back to me, so.
We'll just move on. Okay, the next item on our agenda, since no one is here from the fire department, is review and recommended approval of rezoning request submitted by property owner Jeffrey 106 Jackson Love Highway, Erwin, Tennessee, tax map 031K, Group A, parcel 009.00, from B2/R3 to B2 only. That is here.
Right.
Yes.
So it's currently a split zone property. A lot of parcels along Jackson Highway are there. So rezoning the whole property to B2 won't be an issue. There's B2, like I said, adjacent is already partially B2, so we're just making the whole property one zone as opposed to two zones.
And that's your recommendation?
Yes,
There's no problem
I
with
would,
that?
no, there's no problem.
We just have to have a public hearing on that, right?
Yeah, the BMA requires a 15-day public notice. It's 2 hearings, and one of those is the 15 public day. It's usually the second one. So.
Okay.
I make a motion for it to be approved.
I have a motion, do you hear a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Like sign. Okay, that is approved. Next item is preliminary site plan approval for proposed RV site plan, J.A. Venture LLC, -1006 Jackson Love Highway, Oak, Tennessee, tax map 031K, Group A, parcel 009.00.
So as you guys can see in your packet, there was an attachment of the updated site plan, which you can see is a large, great improvement from the last one that you all saw. However, there are still a few things that we need to work out with the engineer, specifically the floodplain and the building, getting that elevated, that has to be shown beforehand. But now that the rezone is good, it has to go before the BMA, obviously, but this site plan definitely looks much better. I am not ready to give it preliminary approval till the floodplain stuff gets worked out, but I think it's looking good. Do you have any comments on that?
No, only the question of what, I know that I had done the topo stuff and all. And
Right.
So what exactly are you looking for?
So the building has to be elevated, and we have to have a licensed surveyor who can give the floodplain elevations to elevate it and give all of those, what is it, certification, essentially.
Okay, so that's
being
for
elevated, yeah.
the registration building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest issue, and then once you get the updated information from the state health department, that as well, which is very helpful to look for.
And what updated info from that?
From Kelly Salinas with this new site plan.
Oh, I thought that it was once I got the approval from her.
That was on the previous site plan, though, wasn't it? It wasn't on this one. It was a different site plan.
I'll check. Yeah, I didn't know that I had to submit subsequent plans.
I would like to have some discussion about, I've driven out there quite a bit, and I cannot see how that can go with 2 sides and the length of RVs that you're wanting to put in there.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I cannot see how an acre of land can hold the size of RVs that you're planning for. I don't. Am I the only one that's there?
Nine of them.
On like the traffic and getting in and out, I don't know if they're clearance. I would like to look at this more in depth because we just received this as we came in today, and then see if that. I don't know.
Has Monroe been paid, Ryan? I mean,
Yes.
is that a new, we paid that one. So how much traffic, I mean, Now, there's a row of houses there on the right.
It's surrounded, well, you've got
So-
the house next that abuts to the back,
On the back.
and then you have what was Frank's Furniture on one side,
Mhm.
and then you have the houses across the street. I don't know how that can hold what you're wanting there, and the RVs come in and out. I just don't know how that they would do
So
that.
they're gonna come in on Monroe and exit Jackson Love, right?
Well, no, they would have three ways of coming in and out.
Okay.
There would be three ways off of Jackson Love. One, when you would turn right onto Monroe,
Yeah.
drive back, and then turn left at the rear of the property
Uh-huh.
into the site.
Okay,
One, in the middle of the property, there's a main entrance with a registration building,
Yeah, I see.
plans, a registration
I see that.
building there. And then the alley on the far end is another entrance that could come in, and then those sites are pull-through sites. They would come in, pull through, and then when they're ready to leave, they just pull out onto the driveway and go back out onto Monroe Road.
if you pulled in Jackson, if you came in the middle, if you pulled in at Jackson Love, it'd be pretty hard, you would have to back your,
On which one are you talking about?
but if you came in here, coming in here,
Yeah.
so would you just back into your slot? Because you couldn't turn it around.
I think he's saying they pull in from the alley, which is an easement, which it's, so,
Whose alley is it?
he's saying they come in
The
from that
city.
alley. Which isn't paved or opened, is it? It's just a grass strip.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some stone in there, but yeah, it's not really delineated right now, but there's an alley.
Who owns that alley?
You do, the city,
Okay.
15-foot wide alley.
Oh, okay, oh, now I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Come in, okay, you'll come at the top and come down, okay.
Yeah, and Angie, these sites are, these egress and ingress, done by this architect are standard, turning radiuses and openings to accommodate
Whose
these sites.
responsibility is it gonna be to get the alley prepared?
Oh, I would prep it all up. Yeah, I mean, it would be, it wouldn't be a lot, but it would be gravel, I wouldn't pave it. The plan in the future would be to pave all of this, but again, until I get some cash coming in, I'm just gonna do, you know.
Well, to only be fair about the situation, I mean, I remember when it was days old, and, you had a lot of congestion there with the service station, and then you did have trailer parks in there, probably had about 10 trailers in there.
There are 14.
So, that area is used to congestion. I mean, that's been a while since that's been there. But, I mean, I'd like to see it go, we just wanna make sure we're covering, crossing our T's and dotting our I's on it.
I don't know that we can do a pull-through on Monroe because you have to have a screener. and
There wouldn't be a Monroe on the entrance with the sites. So RV sites 5, 6, 7, and 8 are back-end sites. They would pull in off Jackson Love, back into their site, pull out and drive out, go down the driveway, come out onto Monroe, and come out that way.
And you're gonna have trees there.
Well, that's what you had mentioned, about
Yeah,
having
we
a
have to
buffer.
have the
If you see the
10-foot
back of the
buffer.
property, I have a solid line of, what did he put there, evergreens? And then he being Todd, the fellow that's doing these drawings, since I'm not, he had put, and I said, it was mentioned a solid buffer all the way around, and he said, well, these are accepted at times, we'll have to see if she or the board would accept this. So I said, okay, we'll see what happens with it. And those are shade trees and whatnot to kind of give it a, more of a neighborhood
You
feel.
just don't wanna, lose your vision, when you're pulling out.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
Right.
As far as,
Yeah.
as far as the alley goes,
Mhm.
that's gonna take some, because you have the adjoining property that may, because you do have a few back in there.
But that's all abandoned. If you look at the rear of the property where you see the X for the fencing?
Yeah.
That basically, if you go to the buffer of the evergreens,
Mhm.
it's abandoned from there back.
That house, no one's in?
Anything, that adjoining property on the back, that all is abandoned from there all the way up. And it's in the public record that was abandoned. So the alley only legally now goes to the end of my property.
I would feel better if the town would be interested in abandoning that right of way over to make sure that there are no issues with any of the
Where's
surrounding
the
property
if there's
owners.
any utilities?
Right, also, that we also have to verify utilities as well,
We ain't gonna give up no right
because it's a
Yeah.
utility easement.
It is utility.
I'd have to double check.
I don't think it is, I don't think there's any utilities back there, but I don't.
Yes, Mike.
I have nothing to do with any of this, but, you know, I have purchased alleyways from the city in the past, and I've been on the board long enough to done a lot of them. So if the alleyway is abandoned, it is common practice in the city that we would sell that portion of the alleyway to him, that 15 feet. But we would just hold in the deed right to it to access it for any utilities or whatever.
That's
So if
fine.
you pull my deed, it's on there.
Mayor Hensley told me when, who was the people that wanted to buy that part of that alley up there, that was upset to me, that was upset with me, that I said, no, Mayor Hensley said that the BMA years ago passed the ordinance that they would not sell any alleys anywhere because of the right of ways. That's what she told me.
We did
I
a
would
lot.
feel better not selling it because you need those right of ways at some point.
We sold a lot of alleyways under Mayor Henson.
When,
I mean, I can
I mean,
pull them all and show you.
during her administration?
Yeah, like back behind my house, there is no alleyway, but there was on the deed. And so I bought the alley from the city.
Well, if it's legal, that's fine. I mean, I don't want it to be a stumbling block. I don't want it to be a
And we,
stumbling
you know,
block.
there's not, there will never be anything
We
there
probably
except
need
a
to,
driveway, we're not building.
what we need to do, we need to go out there and look at it.
I would like to
I think we all
postpone
need
the
to
vote
go out
on
there
this to,
and you take us out there.
Sure. What I'll do also is I'll arrange to have a
And let's just go
typical
out.
RV, and
Yeah.
we'll pull it in,
Right, and let's just go out there and look at it,
I'll bring mine.
okay? How's that?
that'd be great.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fine.
So when do we wanna do that?
I would have to send out a public notice and technically, because of the Open Sunshine Act, invite the public to attend as well.
Alright, well, once I do that,
We can get a time
Okay.
set up that's good for
Right.
everyone.
And then that, well,
Is that-
okay, then, that'll give, Mr. Day time to get the information that you need on this new site plan. Go ahead and set that up, and let's just make a field trip and go out there, and let Mr. Day explain it.
I'll buy ice cream at Dairy Ace when we're done.
Okay, that might
You have a built-in restaurant right across the
So what
road.
we'll do is, Ryan, you get with Amber, and Ryan will contact everybody, and let's see if we can develop the day pretty quick. And let's give the man here up and down. If we give him an up or down, and let's move it. Mike,
I'll
you're
have to
more welcome
check.
to be there too if you like, okay?
Jeff, what
In the
do you,
meantime, somebody check it out.
what do you have?
And see what you've been doing with selling the right of ways.
Before you can tell, on that, don't
We could
everybody joins that, have to sign that?
May
Yes.
8th
The week of the 8th.
of May.
I think
They
so.
do.
I mean, think so. Yeah, but to approve this thing.
I would rather.
Yeah, it's not just
You
us.
just can't do it.
Yeah, right.
We've got to get the residents' input, and if they don't want it,
You talking about the alley? You
right.
talking about the alley?
No, we're talking about the plan.
From May 5th until about, basically the end of the month, I'm gone. So.
So what, May 5th on next Friday?
Correct. No, yeah, next Friday.
Could we do,
One second.
about 4?
Yeah. Sure could.
What about the 3rd?
May third?
Yeah.
The 3rd?
You're
Today.
I'm wide open on the 3rd.
That is,
Wednesday.
Give us enough time for you to get it to us tomorrow, we'll get it posted.
Hopefully, yeah.
Is that enough notice for you?
I'll have to double check the requirement on that. I think it just says adequate notice and it's not a specific deadline.
we'll be out there, what time will we be there, 4 o'clock? Is that good?
Not good?
May third, 4 o'clock? And Amber let us know if she needs any time. May third at 4.
I don't know, if I don't come.
And I'll try to get,
I said, call me if you don't see me, because I got it in my phone. I'm bad.
Oh, I'll make sure.
Zoom it
You
in,
call me, Ryan.
video chat.
live stream.
Mr. Day, we appreciate you.
Yes.
I believe
wanting to
Angie made
invest
a
in our
motion
city.
to
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
postpone.
Yeah, listen, I'll do whatever.
The best thing is just go out there and look at it.
Yeah, sure.
And then that takes care of it all.
And I'll try and
You
get
know what I'd love to see there, don't you?
car wash.
How'd you guess?
Yeah, just a little birdie. If the city has money and was willing to help me with the money, I would put a car wash in there.
I'm trying to talk to my brother about one too, maybe we just need to
Would
get
you
with
see
you.
if, Mr. Wood could make it out there?
Yeah, I'll call him and see if he can schedule out there. And maybe Jamie Harris too, because he can answer some of the infrastructure stuff.
Yeah, bring those up. We need him.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I need a motion to approve this.
You're welcome.
Next month.
Okay, I'll make a motion to defer, C, the preliminary site plan approval for proposed RV site to the next, meeting.
Okay, have a motion to defer next meeting. Your second. Second. Further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Very much. And, okay, any other business on the board?
We do have some other business.
Okay, yeah, I got it, one second, okay, yeah, let me make sure. Okay.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
My name's Rick Barrett and my wife Linda. We recently purchased a home on Prince Avenue, 1125. And I would like to build a workshop in the backyard. And I would like to position it where it would be 20 feet from the back property line. And I was told that's the set line, but I also was told it's 30 feet.
And which one's
Was it R1 or R2?
Oh,
R1 is a 30 feet front setback.
what's the other rear?
It's got him doing that right now. Yeah, he's got some space back there.
So what do we gotta do to help?
It's 30 feet off the,
Well, that's the setback for the house, right? I think the issue is the accessory structure versus non-accessory structure, if it's gonna be a permanent building or not a permanent building. And it'll be permanent, right?
Oh, yes,
So,
of course.
since it's a permanent building and not movable, does that need to be within the setback like the house would be? Because it's not an accessory structure that's already removable, where you just put it out and you can move it. So I think that's the issue. Right. It's gonna be a permanent building.
but it doesn't take up 35% of the property either, right?
No.
I would think.
It's almost
I'm
an
fine.
acre.
If it were my own place, I would want to put a building where I wanted to put
Yeah,
it.
and as long as it doesn't affect any neighbor, we don't wanna restrict people on what they're gonna do to the property if it doesn't affect anyone else, so how can we help? What can we do to help?
Is it a variance?
He just needs to fill out the marriage request.
Fill out
That'll
the
have to
marriage
be-
request.
Before the BZA notice, and then the board will, at that point, we'll have actual pictures to show you, where the property is and how, we'll get together and like kind of draw it out on the site, so you know how far it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like as far as space goes.
Absolutely.
So, what do we need to tell Mr. Barrett to do right now?
Have I sent you the form for a variance request yet? I'm not sure if I have, and if not, I can get your email and send it to you.
I have one, I'm not sure if it's the one you're talking
Okay.
about.
It might be, if I sent it to you. I think I did. Perfect. That's all I need, so I'll get you on the agenda for, the next meeting, and before then, we'll go, I'll meet you back out at the site, and we'll get some pictures to show the board.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Barrett.
Mr. Barrett.
When is the next meeting?
It will be, let's see, it's May 3rd, May 24th. There's 5 weeks in May. So the 24th.
Fourth Wednesday.
Fourth Wednesday.
That'll give you enough time to get the pictures. Do you need it?
Little, like a sketch of the property, like where the property lines are and where you want to put the building.
Next week.
So those
Next
are
month.
the sizes.
Let's see, let me look.
I think he started.
Actually, I have a
Really? Yeah. Well, I've seen Lauren Jenkins, you said about that. Yes, yes. That's bad. That is bad.
Haven't seen that this week.
So that's your current house, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Some things came up late yesterday afternoon that are not on the agenda, just some things that you guys need to know, probably headed down the pipe a little bit later. Each one of y'all have a map of the downtown overlay. There is a little section at the top that has a little red box on it. That is known as the CSX district. Currently, that is zoned industrial, part of the CSX property. I went to the Joint Economic Development meeting today at the request of Mayor Mr. Finch. They submitted out for RFP. Two people came back, they approved one. They are actually wanting to move forward with this process. So what concerns you guys? Probably in the next couple months, once it transfers over to the EDB, there will be a request to rezone that property. Once they agree on who the surveyor is gonna be, the railroad is pushing for a $22,000 survey, which is insane. Mr. Brown's pushing for something local and a little cheaper, so to see who meets those qualifications. So we have that issue, whether you guys wanna leave it industrial, whether you guys wanna make it an extension of the downtown overlay. Those are two of the options on the table. Those are up for you guys. What this thing is gonna contain is a 33 room boutique hotel with a variety of room types, 30 suites, and 3 rooftop units. It's gonna have a 169 seat restaurant, a series of shops, spa, salon, cafe, etc. It's gonna have a museum featuring Ed Krause's model train set. It's gonna have an event space, bowling alley, axe throwing in the basement, and 2 office spaces with 70 parking spaces, or what the proposed ideas are. In the packet that you guys have, there are some photos, there are some plans, some plans. Easiest way you wanna look at it. The total investment right now is around $9 million for this particular project. It's got cost breakdowns for you guys to look at. It was approved by the Economic Development Board today to go along with this with Mr. Roden Higgins to let him see what I was really about.
What type of zone do they need?
You could get by. You could leave it industrial unless you ever plan on changing your industrial definition.
B4 would work best because it's the surrounding area.
What?
The rest of that area is B4.
Okay,
And B4 would,
so we would put it in B4 and
that,
then.
yeah.
What all is allowed in B4?
Personally, I would make it part of the downtown overlay because you've got the library that's part of the overlay and it's in the parking lot next to it. I don't see a reason why not to do that here.
I was wondering why we needed to change it at all, because all the uses fit what it's on for now, but I see.
Also, you have the little church right there on the corner that may throw this thing a little out with the footage for the restaurant if they didn't want to serve alcohol. So that's yet another reason to probably, if you're gonna do it, look at put it in the.
I'd say they're gonna serve alcohol, probably. So you would want to put it in the overlay, in my opinion. Yeah.
In my opinion, that's what I would do.
That's what you
If you're gonna put $9
think.
million in something, they're gonna serve alcohol.
Who's gonna put the $9 million in?
That's the guy in charge.
It's a very fluid working process. Logan's got it, there's no name for the restaurant, there's no name for the bowling alley. The bank statements are listed in here. It's kind of got about everything that you're gonna need.
As long as it don't come back to the town or county to fund it.
And that was very clear today. Mr. Brown assured everyone that the county and the town will not be left with a $300,000 price tag of the cost of abatement on this building. There is a plan in place. I have no problem bringing this to you guys, showing it to you. I think it's based off looking at it, I think it's a pretty good idea.
It is, it looks really nice, yeah.
If we can build it, fund it, then,
More power to them.
and,
The second part of this equation that we have to do is, there is a supplement to our building code, which is the 2018 building code. We have to add the 2018 existing building code for them to get this $172,000 a year historic building tax credit. So that's something we need to look at doing, and that's something me and the new recorder will look at, kind of bring forward to BMA.
Now, does that come in front of this board or just
No,
BMA?
that'll be a BMA thing, the zone, guys, we don't do anything outside of the zoning. The inspections go through the state, the approvals go through the state, there's the occupancy. Once you guys approve the zoning, we're done.
I would see the survey if they survey it off, but if it's just the one lot, it would be an active approval.
So
we're not gonna.
So we should put it in the overlay. We should recommend the overlay, right?
Most likely.
Because
Conveniences and that.
have what they need in the restaurants and so forth. So I don't have a problem with that if they're gonna put $9 million in.
Yeah, B4 would be my recommendation for zone. B4 allows,
Restaurant down there.
the, like hotels, motels, restaurants, and places of amusement.
Where's that?
Okay.
Like that's, like I said, adjacent right there.
That's a good thing about Evan, but I just.
The last thing with this, guys, it's not guaranteed. The railroad and or Mr. Higgins both can back out, for any real reason.
So we probably don't need to act until,
The only reason you all are getting this is to read up on it, make sure it's what you guys understand it. And this will be going, I would say, based off talking to Lee and Austin Finch, you'll probably see this in the next, you'll see it change hands probably in the next 2 months to the EDD. My recommendation was that the EDD start getting it rezoned, that way when Mr. Higgins took ownership of the property, it was already taken care of, and he can just move forward at that point in time.
How do we prevent, something like the road issue we have with the new subdivision from happening with this building?
A traffic study, is that kind of what
Well,
you're
that,
interested in?
or how do we prevent the city having to, things coming back on us? How's that done?
I think when you read in this packet a little bit, when you start seeing the street level changes that they're planning on making, it'll make a lot more sense to you. There'll be a lot more time for question, and the people that can answer that question, I'll make sure are here for the next time, but they are planning on doing a modification to make something street level. There is a plan in place.
there are different accesses to it.
Yeah.
It just don't look like
Yeah.
Guys,
I think it's beautiful,
So,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah.
Look kind of like the Bristol.
kind of like Bristol Hotel, kind of like Carnegie 2.0 kind of thing.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
So say aye.
Aye.
Stand adjourned.